Hey everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama. Welcome to another podcast.
Today we're looking at the underrated and surprisingly obscure anime, Kabukibu. Yes, that is what it's called.
Yes, and this anime follows a high schooler who has a passion for Kabuki theater thanks to his grandfather. He really wants to share his love with the rest of the school, so what else should he do? He has a goal to put together the school's first Kabuki club.
Yes.
Some of it never happened here.
Right, like we have a club for almost anything now. And before we start, be sure to like, subscribe, and click on the notification bell to get to future podcasts and all the pause videos.
I think what was the most surprising thing for me is we knew it was going to be a slice of life because it's Kabuki.
Right.
How much fun it was. How enjoyable how much fun it is and how enjoyable it is to watch.
Yeah.
How you really love the characters. And the one character who they leave standoffish until the very end of the series, you end up understanding more about him after you find out more about his background and his grandfather. But I was really amazed at how much I really, really love this series, so much that I have it in my Amazon basket to purchase.
Yes, and we actually saw it on First Prime Video,
which is the absolute only place it's available to watch streaming.
Yeah, we were a bit surprised on that, and we ended up adding it because we were looking for new anime, and a lot of their anime on Prime is subtitled. Either they have an English dub, they just chose not to pay for it, or there was never one to begin with.
Now, this one never had a dub.
Right, and the reason why is because they're trying to recreate Kabuki or show an animated form. It wouldn't have translated well if they had done it in all English. So they decided to leave it without a dub so that you're getting as much of the experience as you can animated, especially with the way that they speak when they're on stage as the characters.
Yes, definitely. And the what's the guy's name who's the main character?
Kurusu, that was his name.
And he reminds you a whole lot of Deku.
Yes.
That's what you thought about when he spoke, his mannerisms, his just his personality. He's a really, really nice guy who has a baby face and everyone thinks he's in middle school.
Right. And he said, "No, I'm sophomore." Oh, I couldn't tell.
Now, amazingly, his best friend is a Tenya lookalike named Tombo.
Yes. And part of it, a really hilarious part of him is that he somehow knows all this information. It's like, what is this what you do when you're not on screen? You just look up everything and everybody?
And in that way, he reminds me of Koyoyo Otori from Ouran High School Host Club.
Yes.
Ouran High School Host Club, which was a J. Michael Tatum role, who also does Tenya.
Right, so it all comes circle. It all comes full circle.
So, his grandfather recently passed away, and one way to honor him would not only be to keep being involved in Kabuki, but to have this club. At first, he's told no, he can't do it. He's got to have enough people, and he's got to get approval.
Yeah.
So then begins his journey or his quest to find others to join, along with Tombo, who does it with him.
Right.
So the first place they end up going to is the drama club.
Yes. And okay, and this one you gotta start off the bat with this.
Yeah.
And this is like the first 2 episodes. They have 2 girls running the drama club, and what are their names?
Kaoru, who is the one you really want to talk about, and Maruko.
Right. Okay. If you see the anime, see how they act, I call them Hori and Kashima as kids.
And she actually is supposed to be like Kashima.
Yes, and this was made after the anime, so they were either inspired by Nozaki, or this is that trope that the author of Nozaki did, and this is supposed to be the correct way it's usually done.
But Kashima's pretty.
And we were like, kind of caught off guard because like, wait a minute, did they copy? Like, no, this is how the trope goes. As a female drama club president, you got the girl that looks kind of boyish and all the girls like her and all that. And
she
this
has Kashima's haircut.
Yes, this is how it's normally done. It was like we saw a reboot and seeing the original was kind of throwing us off like, this is how it's supposed to be. But when you see Nozaki, it's all switched around. I'm like, oh gosh, this is so weird.
And Morocco ends up kicking the crap out of Kurusu.
Yes, and as I said, it's Tori's kid because he kicks everybody.
And she doesn't like him because he keeps going near Kaoru, which is normally a boy's name.
Right.
He keeps going near her.
Ah!
And he keeps trying to talk to her.
Right.
And she wants him
What?
to stay away from her.
What?
And she doesn't want him to take her away from the drama club.
I'm
It's
like,
like, oh my
okay,
gosh,
drama.
this is definitely Nozaki-kun.
Yeah.
All over again. And it's hilarious when you're watching it, especially when you have the knowledge of Nozaki beforehand. It just makes it even more enjoyable. And
Yes.
every time they come on screen, that's all you think of and you laugh hysterically.
Yes.
Now, unfortunately, this girl hurts him.
So much that he
knocks
loses a
his-
tooth.
Yes.
He lost a tooth, and they really did. He really did look like he was in middle school or younger. And I don't know if they put it back in or it grew, or a new one grew in. But next episode, he was fine. I'm like, how did the tooth come back?
So he encounters a few people that he approaches a few people that he knows that have a history with Kabuki through their relatives being involved in it and performing. And one is Hanamichi Niwa, who became my favorite character. And he's tall and supposed to be intimidating, but you learn that he's being a way he doesn't want to be. He's being bullied and fighting. He's loved dance and Kabuki his entire life, but he thinks that in order to fit in order not to be bullied and have to fight, he has to act more masculine. When he has feminine traits and a way of behaving due to his dance training, and he also says he likes the way that women have the movements, so that when he does Kabuki and he does the male roles as well as the female roles, and when he does the female roles, he likes feeling that he's doing it well, and he just likes those movements and the gracefulness that it lends to his performance. So, gosh, let me get the kid's name right. Kurusu tells him, you know, you can just be yourself. You don't have to act in a way you don't want to act. You don't have to dress with the leather jackets and all this trying to be tough. And he collapses in joy, crying, and he's so happy. And then you see he really does have a delicate nature about him. He's really a sweetheart. He really loves Kabuki, and he becomes really instrumental into them getting other people.
Yes, and he is really lovable. And there was even a point where we gotta bring it because it was partially hilarious to us. When they have characters like this, you kind of assume things. Well, over here they actually kind of subverted that because he was talking to Kurusu. There's the Kurusu
and Tambo.
They kind of were a little bit uncomfortable for a minute, and then he told them, okay, I gotta tell you this, you should know something, just so you don't get the wrong idea. He's romantically interested in girls. And they're like, oh, okay, I just like doing this, that's it. So if you were wondering, no.
And he also teaches him how to perform the dance moves better and everything.
Yes.
He's really a sweetheart. He ends up becoming one of their close friends. So he's a really great character. And then the next one they approach is Akutsu.
Yes.
And he's the bad boy.
Or the Makoshaba of the group.
Akutsu is the and he's got long hair that's blonde with some red on top, and he's got eyeliner, and he's got the ear cuffs and the earrings.
It's like if Goku turned into a punk rocker or something.
And he's like, I don't want to do it. I got my band, and he really needs to leave the band.
There is no band.
And what's hilarious is, after a lot of talking and going on, they finally end up getting him to do it because he says the only thing he hates more than Kabuki is not being included in something. So he does it just so he can be included. So they tell him, look, you got to get rid of the hair. So he gets rid of the hair, and suddenly he looks about 5 inches shorter. Why cutting his long hair make it look shorter? Yeah. It was hilarious the way they put that in.
Oh my god.
But then you find out he also has Kabuki background. he was told one thing, then told it was a lie. Then he finds out that not only was it true, but his grandfather was really a huge legend in the Kabuki theater.
Yes.
So that was really interesting. And he grows as a person. And you find out he has a backstory with his mom and his dad passed. His mom remarries, and it's just wow.
Right. Oh, and about that, there's this thing in there. She actually marries an American, and she moves to America, and she offers for him to come with her, and he didn't want to go.
But we didn't find out till later.
Right. And the problem is that he has really a hard time learning English. It's really hard for him. And there's a running joke throughout half the anime where at points he says some English and it's always wrong.
Yes.
And they're keep like, okay, you need to learn it because you're getting every single word wrong. It was like Omi, but worse.
So he gets him to join. He gets Kaoru, who we talked about earlier, to join. And he really wants to get Jin Ibihara. And he's a descendant from a family of Kabuki performers. His grandfather is still alive, and he's also a legend in Kabuki. And he's just a jerk. Like 11 out of 12 episodes, he's a joke.
Yeah.
Not a joke. Forget it. He's a jerk. He's a jerk. 11 out of 12 episodes. We forgot to mention it's only 12 episodes. It was only one season.
Yes.
It was adapted from the light novel that was 7 volumes. But there's also a manga that began in 2017, and from what we've read, it's still continuing now.
Right, like Nosaki. We couldn't believe it. Like, it's this old and it's still going. Couldn't believe it.
So, Jin resists, and he comes up with these excuses and these reasons and why he can't do it. And he really has an arrogant way about him.
Yes.
His grandfather wants him to be more fun, to get more involved with the students at school.
Which is really a twist.
And he tells him he needs to enjoy Kabuki. He doesn't enjoy it. He's just going through the motions and doing it out of tradition, and he wants them to enjoy it.
Right.
So finally at the end, and it's a spoiler, not spoiler, he joins for a reason we won't tell you how, and he ends up doing what his grandfather wants. But all in all, this is a really nice slice of life anime. It's fun, enjoyable, lovable characters, and surprisingly within the 12 episodes you get a lot of character development. It's really done very well, written very well, likable characters, and it's just something you really should take a look at. You don't have to be a fan of Kabuki. We know nothing about Kabuki except for the basics.
Right.
But you also get a really good lesson in its history and how it came about and how it continues to be appreciated in Japan and by other people around the world who grow to love Kabuki.
Right. Oh yeah, wait. There's actually one character we got to bring up, the girl that does the outfits for the theater. I can't believe we forgot about it. I think because she's so crazy.
You can go ahead and tell about it.
Okay, well, Janomi, she's the one that makes all the outfits for them because she does stuff for the cosplaying and the anime and stuff, and she makes these really elaborate, well-made outfits for them. And she's crazy because she's already prepared for people to make fun of her because she's the otaku, and she claims she doesn't look good or anything. It's like, but nothing's wrong.
She keeps saying she's round.
They're like, but there's nothing there.
So it's a really great watch, and as you hear, there are male and female. There are different genders that participate in Kabuki.
Yes.
Male, female, and other.
Yes.
So you will enjoy it.
Yes.
And it's a great way to find out and learn that it's not just for guys.
Yeah.
Which seems to be the impression that is given by most people that talk about it in the United States, that that's whom it's for.
Yeah.
But again, you'll get a great history, and it's a fun way of conveying the love of it to its audience without beating you over the head, without it being boring. It's just fun and informative.
Yeah.
And not in a boring way.
Right. And it's a surprisingly really great intro theme.
Yes.
For some reason it does.
So if you've seen Kabukibu, let us know what you think in the comments. If you haven't, it's available to watch on Prime. Or as we mentioned, you can find it available on Amazon. What's really a funny story very quickly is I went looking for it right after we finished the anime, and it was nowhere to be found on there sold. And I'm like, I really, really want to own this. I really, really want to own this. So a week later I go back and suddenly Kabukibu is on Amazon Prime. It's on Amazon, to own.
Yeah.
And I said, people say a lot of crap about Amazon, but this is one reason why they are number one and outdoing everyone. There was something there they didn't have that I really wanted. And a week later, it's there to buy. Thank you, Amazon. Thank you very much.
Right. And if you haven't already, subscribe for updates and weekly videos on your favorite anime series, anime shows, and all things animation.
Absolutely.
So, thank you so much for watching. I'm Rascal Entertainment.
And Mom Entertainment.
Have a toon-tastic day.
Peace.